My friend, there is no such a thing as my truth, your truth, or his truth. There's only one truth, one absolute truth. And that truth, his name is Jesus. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no man cometh to the Father but by me. I have learned in a hard way about life. I realized that obedience without the right corresponding action is still disobedience. I didn't know that until I started to study the scriptures. If you think you obey God, but you do not follow that obedience with the right corresponding action, you are still in disobedience. I learned a lot about life. I came to realize that no matter how much degree you study, it's not what people teach you that you become. It is what you are choosing to become. I made a choice through the systematic theology I studied for 3 years. I'm going to invest time to study the scriptures for myself. I forgot about the systematic theology I studied for 3 years, even though I invested money into it with no debt. I studied smartly. And then I had to train myself. I got a job and trained into welding. I do welding as a profession. I'm not a welder by profession, as I said in my other video. I do welding as a profession. I work in a big company. We make spare parts of bulldozers. My job is to make sure that every spare part that is a part of the bulldozers, heavy industry machinery, my job is to make sure that I'm doing everything right, and the robot does things, because if I make a mistake, the robot will make a mistake. If I make things right, the robot will do things right. So I am doing is making spare parts. I'm not ashamed of my job. It's a 9 to 5:10. Sorry, it's 8 to 5:10. I start my job at 8. You don't start at 8. I get there by 7:40 or 45, and then we start work at 8, and then I finish at 8:10. At 5:10. But if we have more work, I work for 2 more extra hours until 7:10, and then by the time I get home, it's around 9:30-ish, and then I have to spend time with my children, study the Bible with them, and I have to spend time with my wife. And by the time I'm in bed, it's usually 1:30 to 2 a.m. And the next day I have to be up by 5 again. It's not easy. It's hard. My friend, I obey God. God said, John, even though the Lord knows my schedule, say, I need you to start making videos. And I found out in the last several months, my friend, it's hard. It's really hard. But obedience without the right corresponding action, it's still disobedience. So Lord, I'm gonna buy the equipment. So my friend, what I'm trying to say is this: when God told me to start making videos, I have to follow up with the right corresponding action. Say, Lord, I'm gonna start. First, I disobeyed God. I have a lot of videos. I made videos. I had a YouTube channel before even I knew I had a YouTube channel. That's how far God was trying to teach me. My friend, disobedience got me in a lot of troubles. Got me sick, and got me sick several times. The last sickness woke me up. When you get out of joint, my friend, you're going to ruin the ligament. You gotta make sure that your body is in joint. Every joint is working properly. My friend, I was in another agony. I told you how I almost died, but this time was pain. I pushed my body beyond. When you disobey God, I obey God by not doing what God asked me to do. There was no corresponding action to what I was doing. My friend, my body started to break down. Every Monday I had to take a day off and go to a hospital. Sorry, not to take a day off, work a half day off. But I had to do almost 89%, about 90% of my work in 4 hours. That's how hard it was. So I had to work and then go to the hospital. As I was doing that, I was breaking my body, pushing my body, and the pain it was so much pain, my friend. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lie down, I couldn't stand. Standing was painful, sitting was painful, lying down was painful. There was no position. Working was painful. I was, oh my goodness, it was hard. I was like, God, I want to say things, but I learned. Be quick to listen, slow to speak. I was to say, I said, no, I'm not gonna say. Then I hear the voice in my. But the beautiful things about this, my friend, is I didn't stop getting up in the morning investing the time in the Word, spending time with God. Even when it was painful, I was still pumping the Word in me, pumping the Word into my heart, pumping the Word in my mind. Even though my mind was in agony, my body was in so much pain, I pumped the Word in my mind. I pumped the Word in my mind. I get up in the morning, I go to work in pain, come back during work pain, come back home pain. At that time, I come home, nobody say hello to Daddy. Murphy doesn't, just fighting alone. I said, come on, nobody cares about me. My friend, that's what the devil wants. He creates problem in order to disconnect you with everybody so can destroy you. The first thing he comes is to steal. He wanted to steal the word out of me. He wanted to steal the word out of me, but I said no. I will spend time with God. I read the word, I studied, and then he started to create problem around me in order to get me off focusing of the word. I said no, I won't give up. I studied the word. I studied the word. Guess what? The more I studied the word, the more painful it became. And then suddenly I started to hear the voice of my heart. Say something, John. Say that. One time I said, Lord, say what? I was walking on the street like this. Oh, so much pain. But I had to walk fast to get home. I wanted to be home. My friend, I'm a family man. I love my wife and kids. I wanted to be home as fast as possible. And then I heard the voice of God say something. I said, Lord, say what? The moment I said that, I was angry at God. I said, Lord, I apologize. I'm not angry at you. I'm just angry at myself. Yes, I was angry at myself. I thought I was angry at God. Then I heard the voice of God say, trust in the Lord with all your heart. When God say something, I said, Lord, say what? My friend, God respond when you open your mouth and you speak. If you keep your mouth shut, you don't say anything, there's nothing you can hear. When I say what? Even though it came with anger, but it came with a passion. It came from a place of agony, excruciating pain. It came out and I said it. When I said it, I heard the voice of the Spirit of God in me. Remember, the Holy Spirit lives in my spirit. I heard it say, trust in the Lord, John, with all your heart. Lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him. He will direct your path. Don't be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord. I said, Lord, oh yes. Fear the Lord. What does fear mean? I honor your word and I want to do as your word says. That's the true fear of God, is to honor His word and to do what He says. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. But what is evil? Evil is you rejecting the truth, embracing a lie. Depart from evil, He will direct your path. Say, okay, Lord, I'm going to do that. I started to learn. I said, Lord, give me wisdom. Show me what I'm doing wrong. I said, good question. This is what you're doing wrong. You get up in the morning, you spend time with me, you set your heart right with me, but your actions don't correspond with your heart. You need you and your spirit, your heart and your body working together as one. I, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we are three in one and we're in unit. You, the Spirit, your soul, and your body be in unit. Work together as a team. When you go left, make sure your spirit is going always right, because it's sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. And make sure your soul goes left and your body goes left. When you go right, make sure that all the three spectrum of you go right. Do everything in unison. So, okay, I'll do that. Stop walking, running to go get the bus so you can get home early. Sit down, meditate, spend time with me, listen to the word, and the bus comes, you get on, you rest your body. Oh, my friend, I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't get the surgery they wanted me to get. I didn't go to spend the thousands and thousands of dollars they asked me to give. Guess what? I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. When I do that, my friend, I could not do this 8 months ago, 6 months ago. And God said, come on, do this exercise. Do this. I said, okay, I'm going to do that. Eat this, don't eat that. Okay, Lord, I'm going to do that. Look, the doctor asked me to reduce the belly. In my previous video, I told you, last week, Friday, I went to see him. The belly was big. I've been working hard. It's almost gone. So my friend, if you are obedient to God, you need to follow your obedience with the right corresponding action. Subscribe, like, and share this video. You've been listening to Come On and C.S.Christianty. John bless. Peace.